Hello and welcome, and in this video I'm going to show you some inspirational ways you can get started with your painting, and this is with creative drawing, allowing yourself just to move across the paper, making some wonderful shapes and then seeing what we can do with them with colour. I'm using a limited palette here of primary blue, lemon yellow, black and white. Now I'm going to just be painting into some of the shapes, not necessarily following it through to all the shapes, but it's a great way to begin as a guideline. And this is playtime. It's warming up and getting in the zone and relaxing into your painting. There's no right or wrongs, and it's a great way to begin painting. So you can see here that I'm, just mixing some of these colors together, and I have some tissue paper on the side. I use that to take off excess paint, and then I can use the tissue paper if I want to for collage, which is great. And in future videos, I'm going to show you how you can start a painting using these kind of collage pieces. But back to this piece. So it doesn't take long, there's nothing to stress about. It's just using your free drawing as a marker to begin. And using this limited palette helps you get some nice contrasts and color values into your painting. Now, whether you're just starting off or whether you are already, painting quite a lot, it's an important thing to always remember about three things in a painting. One is, where does your eye go as you're looking at a painting? Two is the differences in shape, sizes. And three is your color values. Those are the three most important things to really be looking at in a painting. Now, if you're just starting off and you want to know more about abstract painting, I have a free mini course. The link is in the description below, which is a great beginning to getting your confidence and getting a foundation into your abstract painting. If you're already painting and you want some extra help with learning about composition, then I have a great course which I've just bought out. And again, the link is in the description below. And that goes through these points that I've been telling you about, looking at where your eye is going, looking at your differences in shapes, and looking at your color values. And this course is on composition is a deep dive into understanding that even more. So that's something to think about. So let's get back to this painting. The thing that's interesting about using just a few colors is that it gives you a chance to create really good harmony in your painting. What does that mean? Harmony is making sure that the colors fit together, so there's some continuity with your colors, and it brings the painting together. If you're using just colors from the tube, there's nothing that they relate to. When you're harmonizing your color, they're all relating to each other. So not only can you develop your lovely contrasts and your values, but you're holding the painting together. It might sound a bit complicated, but actually it's not. It's just a question of practicing and doing these little warm-up exercises that don't take long, and they're really fun to do, helps you move along with understanding how this works. Because you're mixing just these few colors together, it's inevitable that you're going to get the harmony in your painting. So, it kills two birds with one stone in a way, because you don't have to think about it too much. What you do need to think about, even in this play stage, is looking at your focal points. Where is your eye going? So even as I'm playing with this painting, I've got some really dark contrast here. I'm putting some really dark into the side, which then brings you over to the other side. So your eye is moving around the painting. So when you're looking at yours, see if you can do the same. Now I'm starting another one here, slightly differently. I've done the drawing and now I'm just outlining the drawing with some black paint. So this is another interesting way of starting a painting. There's so many different ways that you can just kind of get going and enjoy the whole process of abstract painting and seeing what happens. You can come up with some amazing paintings by using this method, because your shapes are so unique. They're completely unique to you. Now there's a great thing, it's a big trend at the moment, called mark making. Well, it's all well and good making marks, and that's great, but really all the marks are different kind of shapes. And the most important thing that you have to think about in a painting is the differences in shapes, some large, some small, some medium. And your eye will go to those different shapes more easily if there's got a difference. It kind of pops out at you. If all the shapes are the same size, it becomes sort of more of a flat surface. So you want to be looking at the marks or your shapes as different in each part of the painting. And it helps you to guide your way around finding your overall composition. So, you can see here, even though I'm using exactly the same color palette, it's coming out very differently, which is always really interesting. And it's a way that you can start really putting a series together, because there's a harmony, because the colors are similar or the same. And you've got some really nice differences between, one painting and another. And playing in this way will really give you some confidence in so many different ways, covering those 3 essential points, and how you can make, so many colors just from, as I've got here, I've got Persian primary blue and lemon yellow and black and white, and see how many combinations I can get from it. It's fantastic. And this is another way of practicing and seeing where you can go with just a few colors, how many tones you can get. The tones is when you add the black, and the tints are when you add the white. And in my course of the mini course, the free one, I explain how this works in a little bit more detail. And in the composition course that I do, I really go in depth to show you how you can make such a phenomenal difference to your painting by understanding these principles of composition. It's really the design, the color values, and where your eye is going. So, are you enjoying this video? I hope you are, and if you are, please like and subscribe, press the notification bell. I'm putting up new lessons all the time to help you be as creative as possible with your painting and feel confident and really enjoy it. Painting is so wonderful to do. It takes you into a whole new world, and I absolutely love it, and I love sharing it because I can see there are so many amazing benefits to painting abstracts. So I'm moving a little bit further forward now, and really the painting, the little paintings are coming together really interestingly. I kind of like what's happening with it, and they can be developed. These are just playthings to give you ideas for actually making, going on canvas or board and really creating. Now I'm doing some drawing on top of here with a black acrylic pen, I like doing that. Now I'm just using my palette knife just to kind of loosen it up a little and give some interesting textures to the painting. And I really enjoy doing this, and you can do this in so many ways. And it's a great way to um, kind of give some finishing touches to a painting. Excuse me. So I'm adding that, and then drawing on top of it's also great. You can do so many different things. Now I'm taking some of the paint off and then blotting it back on, and again that gives you some interesting textures. Now you can't see it absolutely here on the film, on the camera, but I'm adding a tiny bit of orange. I've added a new color into the mix with a little bit of orange just to give it a pop. And you'll see when it's finished how that works. You know, I could have added red because of the complementary to the green, but this kind of burnt orange is bringing it a little bit of warmth into the painting and a bit of extra interest. And can you see how your eye is now going to those places, which is great. Again, just drawing a little bit on top, adding some sharp edges. We want sharp edges as well as soft edges. Again, they're points of interest, which you can have a look at in your own painting. And you can go back to old paintings and use these kind of principles to see how much more you can do to it. And you'd be surprised. You know, I look back at some of my old paintings, I think, you know what, I know what to do with that now. And you know, maybe you'll feel the same. And you can carry on playing. You know, these are just to give you a demonstration of how you can do your creative drawing, making some wonderful shapes, very loose and free and relaxed, and turn them into wonderful play paintings to experiment with using the main principles in your painting. So I hope you're enjoying this, and you're going to be able to use some of what I've been talking about in your own work. You know, just doing a few little nice finishing touches. Again, it guides the eye around. I'm loving this shape. It looks to me like some kind of dancer in a way. You just never know what's going to happen with these abstracts. So here they are. You can see how the orange has just given the paintings a little bit of a oomph, and you can see now some of the textures in it, and you know, the different color values, the lights and the darks, again with this one, and how it kind of comes together, which is great. Now the next thing I'm just going to show you is putting it into black and white to see your tone values, which I've done here. So you can see the tone values are working quite well on both of them, and that's a really interesting thing to do. So I hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.